if BBC is going to stand their ground and continue, then there'll be a point when Donald Trump will have to be deposed, and meaning answer questions, or say, never mind, I'm dropping the lawsuit.
Donald Trump's won a dramatic 11th hour appeal to block a court order requiring him to hand over his private financial records to the BBC. The US president suing the British broadcaster for $10 billion over a documentary clip that spliced his January the 6th speech, which he claims damaged his business interests. Today, a judge granted an emergency stay after Trump's lawyers argued that forcing him to reveal records for roughly 400 entities in his family trust would cause irreparable harm. It comes as Trump attempts to pivot his defamation suit strictly towards reputational harm to keep his finances hidden. Let's speak to trial lawyer and former Manhattan prosecutor Catherine Christian. Catherine, good evening.
Good evening.
Was this really all about Donald Trump trying very hard and succeeding not to reveal his financial records, even if that comes as a price in terms of what he wants to try and sue the BBC for?
Exactly, because the reality is this lawsuit it's President Trump who is suing for defamation. This is all about what happened with ABC and CBS here in the United States. They gave him money, and that's what he wants BBC to do. He does not want to be deposed at a deposition. He does not want to give information over about his companies, and he certainly doesn't want to go to trial. He's hoping that the BBC will not want to move forward and give him money. And so far, the BBC is doing litigation, which ABC News and CBS News did not do.
Yeah, and the BBC is determined to fight this. Did they, or rather, was it a masterstroke, I suppose, asking him to expose proof that he'd suffered financial harm? He would have to reveal his financial records.
Yes, and I'm sure his lawyers knew that was going to come, but we're hoping, why isn't BBC settling? Why aren't they giving us the money? And then once a judge ordered President Trump and his trust to give over this information, then suddenly it's like, oh, never mind. We're not saying BBC harmed his business. We're just talking about him personally. So it's basically, Trump, his lawyers, hoping that there'll be a settlement and they won't have to reveal anything. And to BBC's lawyers' credit, they're fighting.
Where do you see this going next?
If BBC is going to stand their ground and continue, then there'll be a point when Donald Trump will have to be deposed, and meaning answer questions, or say, never mind, I'm dropping the lawsuit, which I predict that can happen. Can you imagine the President of the United States being deposed and with a straight face argued that this little BBC clip from a documentary caused him personal harm to his reputation? I don't see that happening. But I think Trump wants the BBC to fold and do what ABC News and CBS News did.
Look, it's great to speak to you again. Thank you. Catherine Christian, who is a trial lawyer and former Manhattan prosecutor. We'll keep a watch on that one.